Get that mic in front of you rather than over the top.
Well, every time I'm like this, you can never hear me, and then I'm too close and I'm too far, so I figured I'd just go above it.
Fine.
Does that work? What?
Just like, you just got to be like...
Well, I watch the recordings and you're always slightly above yours.
Yeah.
So...
Maybe I'll make the settings towards mine. Roger, let's kick this off. On this episode of Behind the Swan, I actually remember the name of it this time. Yeah. We are talking about basically rounding up Blazing Swan. We're right on the final day. We're doing pack down shortly. And yeah, just try and move through. Yeah. The weird thing is normally we'd be doing this at the end of the day and we'd have a beer. Do you need a beer?
I can get beer.
Do you want to go?
I can go and get beer.
Go and get a beer.
Oh, okay. Hold up.
Obligatory. Oh shit. Well, that's all over me. Right. Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
Another year.
Yep. Done. Nearly.
Where do we start with this as an episode?
Start with the...
Maybe just get up on that mic.
Setup. This mic. Give me a lapel mic. I want something better.
Just think about it that the mic is yeah, that part.
Look how far you are away from yours.
It's not about the distance, it's about if you're over the top, you're not going to hear it. Oh, that truck is going to reverse into our structure. That's good. Okay, let's kick this off. So, where do we want to start? We want to start with
setup.
Setup?
Yeah.
You don't want to even start with packing?
That's at the end.
Oh, okay. Oh, I meant the packing into the truck and getting here.
Oh, into the truck. The packing of Cinebrah went well. Mm-hmm. The packing of Danceopia went okay.
Yep. The
packing of aiding and abetting was just thrown on top because it was all soft stuff. But it was the fact that when we got the other end, we realised we couldn't actually access our fridge.
Yes.
For about a day and a bit.
And we had limited access because basically, to give this more context, we shared a truck to bring all our stuff down with 2 other camps. And yeah, I think our packing went a lot longer than planned.
Well, we guesstimated 2 hours. It took 4.5.
Yep. So that's double.
Which put us behind.
That's still better than the 1.5 days that it took us last year.
That's because we had a small trailer. We're trying to, Tetris it all in.
Jenga. Oh, no, it's Jenga. It's Tetris. You're right. And then, yes, I guess, so we've got that truck. We've got three camps in there. And, yeah, I guess with all the packing, having no access to food and some of the tools that we needed.
Yes, the shovels, unfortunately the shovels and stuff were put on the base of the truck, and then there was a sofa and God knows what else on top of them, so I couldn't actually get them out.
Yep. And again, for context, we need shovels because we have to dig lines for power and clear ground to make sure that we can actually pitch our wonderful structure and art project.
Our plot had a few potholes, so we had to fill them in.
Yeah.
So,
in general, are you happy with our positioning?
Yeah, it's worked really well. I mean, we had a lot of wind going across the site, and it was coming from the back of the structure. If we were where we were last year, it would be coming straight into the structure. Yep. So it's worked out quite well because we've got the move truck at the back of the structure to try and deflect the wind. So yeah, it's actually been a good spot. The ground depth has been good. Like, we've had no rock issue or anything.
Yeah, which is more... I guess we've worked hard with the camps around us to make sure that we can actually do that.
Yeah, the whole area's definitely worked out a lot better.
I think one of the downsides of our structure is that we don't have an alternative method of securing it to the ground. It is designed a certain way, and it probably could be changed, but it's not we weren't at a time. We didn't have enough time to make those changes.
No. So.
Yes.
So yeah, got here okay. Got here just after 7 because we stopped at the pub in Coolin.
We did. We stopped at the pub, which was bearing in mind that we didn't have access to food. That was probably a really sensible idea. And then the first 2 days on site, the weather was poop.
It was.
Worse.
There was a few spots of rain on the first day,
but it was the wind.
The rest of it was the wind.
It was wind, but
which made playing with tarps difficult. So
it did, but positives, we didn't get absolutely roasted on the first few days. So that's
no. It was it was cool. So that was alright. We did have some structure lift when we were assembling it, which is a first. Luckily, both me and Bruce were inside at the time, and we were able to pin it down.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, remind me. Oh, it's your favourite question. What are the dimensions of our structure?
4.6 metres wide, 9 metres long.
Yeah.
Greenhouse tunnel kind of style thing. So when the wind got under it, because we hadn't tensioned the tarp around it under the frame, we got a little bit of. And there was a bit of swearing when the tarp kept moving. You tie it on, and then the wind would get in and move again. Like, ah!
Yeah. There's nothing quite like trying to hold on to a 9 metre structure that's deciding to lift.
Yeah.
That was a little.
Yeah.
Could have been worse, but quickly got pegged down. Do we know the build time for?
Cinebrah was a day.
A day.
Cinevision, which we can name now.
Project Box. So Project Box.
There's no Project Box. I don't know anything about Project Box. You can't make me talk.
Is officially named as Cinevision. I guess we can let's talk about that. I guess as an overview, Cinevision is a 3x3 meter cube.
Nope. 3 by 2.5. 3
by 2.5. It's pretty much a cube with a sloped roof. The steel of it was taken. That makes us sound like we go around the site. Yeah, it was
gifted.
Stealing stuff. It was gifted from an art installation last year, and so that forms the frame on the inside. Is it ply on the outside?
Yeah. Yep. Plywood. So 9mm ply.
9mm ply around it, and then it has a screen that is actually bigger than the cinema screen at the front, obviously, because that's where you want to be. Yeah. And what we showed on it was more, I guess, visualization stuff.
The first night we did visualizations. The second night we did. I think we did visuals the second night, and then after that we kind of switched to your principal graphics.
Yeah,
so a couple of random, weird, funny, cartoony doco kind of things.
Small, short films, art films.
Which were quite popular, to be honest.
Yeah. I think with that, the animations that I built, they were very... I really like the idea of them. They took a long time to render.
Yeah.
I would have liked them to be slightly different and better. But basically what I did was take the 11 principal icons that we have and animate them so that they perform sort of a visual, like a constantly moving visualization. It was supposed to be like nice and relaxing. And I think we did actually manage to find a sofa on the day before we came down.
But we couldn't fit it in the trunk.
Yeah, it didn't fit. And it would have worked really well so that people could actually use the space. I've spent so much time this year analysing space. Yeah. How spaces are used, why people act the way that they do. I should become an architect or something. Maybe not.
Well, it's quite handy, like walking around all the other camps and just like seeing how they've done it and like picking up little ideas. Like, Aruma, the way they do their floor, I actually think that'll be a lot better to do here.
How do they do their floor?
It's just those interlocking foam squares, and then they just chuck a load of rugs on top. And
they felt like very thick, not the kind of like.
No, they were thick. They were
chunky.
They were warm. They were like comfy. Obviously, it'd be a small storage space as well for them.
It is, but stack them up and they're going to create a fair bit of a storage space problem.
No, I think it'll be fine. I mean, they could potentially go in the new Cinebrah box, so,
Yeah, we also managed to, on the last day, gain a box for Cinebrah. So one of the technical or logistical... wow, having a beer at 10 o'clock in the morning is slowing me down. One of the logistical issues that we have is that obviously we live normal lives and Cinebrah as a camp needs to be packed down. It's currently stored kind of in a garage, and like all the poles are kind of just stacked up together. We roll up all the tarps and carpets and stuff like that, but we managed to get a box that was actually used to transport a boat. That makes it sound really big. It's I don't know, what is it like?
It's probably about 4 meters long.
4 meters long, and then it's only it's not massive, but it's long enough to stack stuff inside it and keep it all contained, and then hopefully we'll be able to chuck that outside, tarp it up, and should be nice and secure and give a bit more space within our residence, our grand mansion from all of our podcasting monies.
Yeah. I hope Jeeves has been keeping it clean.
Oh yeah, I really hope. It's a big place, so give the guy a break if he doesn't like vacuum a couple of 100 rooms for us when we get back. But if that pool's not clean, man. Let's talk about general. How was your general Blaze experience as an individual?
It was good. Definitely got out and did some stuff this year because there was people in the camp. Our roster system didn't really work. Yeah. Because I know on Saturday, I think it was, everyone just kind of disappeared. I mean, you were off doing filming and everyone else just disappeared, so I just manned the fort.
Personed.
Most of the day.
Don't be so sexist.
Sorry.
It's personed. You can people the fort.
So I just stayed there all day and was just like chatting to lots of people outside, spooking them in, playing salesman.
I think it is difficult though, because as a camp, it's very much like something that we built, and then we had a total of 7 people, including ourselves, this year. So there wasn't an unwillingness to help. There was just more of a lack of delegation. Yeah, we're not very good at that, I don't think.
We didn't. Yeah, I mean, we did have a roster, but we should have printed it up and made sure everyone stuck to it. But I mean, like,
I feel like in general we weren't as well prepared as last time. Like,
no,
we seem to be chucking things in a box really late. Even though we did a sort out the weekend before and
my personal packing was done that morning in about 5 minutes, just throwing stuff in a bag.
I bought a whole a bag and a box of clothes, and I've worn pretty much the same thing
I do
every day.
Yeah, I always bring too much shit.
Yeah.
No, it's more the fact that when we got here, we realised that we'd actually forgotten a load of stuff, and I think the biggest item was our chalkboard sign.
Yes. Yeah, last year we had this big chalkboard, like hexagon. Was it hexagon, pentagon, octagon?
Hexagon?
It's one of those things that's got angled sides to it and isn't a circle. It's like a circle but chopped on straight edges. That's great.
Yeah.
And we forgot to bring it. We bought the stand for it, but forgot the main piece, and that's because I washed it ready to go, and then left it outside and forgot that it was there in the haste of packing stuff. Yeah, but in all honesty, the very expensive small board that we do have has worked very well. Much
A3 whiteboard,
which is weird. You would think that having a that chalkboard must be 2 or 3 foot across it.
It's quite big.
Yeah, it's
I do wonder how it would have handled the wind, to be honest.
Yeah, it's probably a big sail out the back and just would have
we'd have to make sure it was protected by a structure or something.
Yeah, because we also had a big storm Friday night, at which a few things were.
There was still some damage in camps. One was evacuated, but Cinebrah, no problems. We got a second tarp.
Actually, it did have a problem. So let's back it up, because there's a story there as well, which is the monkey hut. What is that? It's a large horn. I don't know if the people can hear that.
The monkey hut.
The monkey hut. So
the monkey hut fail.
There's a video to come on this. No pressure on editing, Bruce. I guess in summary, we went down the park. We put the thing up. I think we did 3 different attempts.
Yeah.
And it was basically like an unattached sail. It was flapping all over the place.
Well, we were side on to the wind, and the wind suddenly picked up and basically just crushed it. So it was kind of a good Blaze wind test.
Which was really needed this year.
Yeah, so this is what you pre-build shit before you go. So it was a total fail, but you learn by doing.
Yep.
Much to the amusement of some of the community members. They said it would be so easy.
Oh yeah, to be honest though, I'm glad, because when you built this structure, like the Cinebrah and Cinevision, nothing has. Oh, actually, they have been wrong on Cinevision, but with the Cinebrah, it's really hard to call it Cinebrah and Cinevision, because the whole camp is Cinebrah. But anyway, with the Cinebrah, stop faffing around. With the Cinebrah, you built a structure and it worked first time. Yeah. And whilst it's like, sweet, that's cool, people don't necessarily connect with that as a story. So having like a failure actually is lots of people engage with that, and they're like, oh, that was nasty. Like, I had a few conversations with people around the place.
Yeah.
So it failed, and there's a video on it. What did we end up doing instead?
We just used the tarp that we bought for the monkey hut and just threw it over as a second skin. It did reduce internal heat a little bit.
I think it worked really well in the actual cinema. I think that we still had massive heat
Yeah, well, that's because of the computer and projector and everything running.
And the difference is because the camp is facing 180 degrees differently. That means that what was protected last year, i.e. the back of the cinema where we have all the editing and
it still is protected.
It's protected.
No, it's shaded by the truck. It's actually internal heat. That is.
It did not feel like it at all.
It's all internal heat. So.
So we need to work on dissipating that.
Yeah.
And moving that on next year.
So we'll work that out.
Go. I'll make a cut.
We have a visitor.
We're just recording a podcast. Oh, you're here for the... Yeah. Oh, my God. We're going to have problems.
Blaze time, behind schedule.
How do I cut back into this? Where do we start?
Bye-bye. I think the monkey hut idea is still usable. It's just that I'd have to actually cut the ribs down so they're the same size as Cinebrah. So they literally sit on the frame. So then there's no crushing issues or anything like that, and it will basically just mean we can keep the tarp
a little bit off it,
25 mil off of the structure, give that air gap, and that will give a bit more insulation.
And we've also talked around, like you're thinking about hard backing.
I'm going to apply the back, and hopefully that will give us a door entrance as well. Potentially even thinking about maybe putting an editing room separate. Yeah,
the computer and projector that we have in there generates a lot of heat. And then one thing that I found this year was trying to edit when stuff was going on. Difficult because you're fighting sound. Like the cinema's loud, you wear headphones, it's still pretty loud. Let's talk about Cinevision.
Yes.
Project Box. Construction, I thought was going to take like an hour.
You were dreaming. It took a whole day. The Cinevision was built on a paved flat area.
Yes.
It was assembled on a slightly uneven ground.
Yep.
Which when we started putting the panels on, we realised that the frame was slightly out and had to make some modifications here, there and everywhere. Stop moving my mic.
Well, I need you.
It was fine where it was. I angled it and everything. So we had to adjust the panels to get it all on. The screen, had to just remount it and trim it right down. It was just
it was a bit of
a long process,
a bun fight.
But once it was up, because it's positioned at the entrance to the loop, you could see it from right down the bottom. It was awesome at night. It looked sick.
I think if it had that sofa, then people would have come up, watched it, stayed, had a chat, chilled out, blah blah blah. But for what it was supposed to do, which was bring people into the loop, it
worked like a champ.
Definitely managed that.
That was the idea. So I think got some decoration ideas for it around the lettering and stuff. Just some different lighting, some internal lighting as well. Stuff like that. But other than that, it worked really well. Really happy with it. So
I'm going to talk about art or films, and because that's what we're supposed to do, and especially as we're on a time schedule to finish. It's been difficult. Like the what we did last year was very much like a pump in, pump out sort of thing. Trying to produce as many films as possible, and I think I managed. It was either like 5 or 7 or something like that. This year we did not.
No.
And there's a part of me that's disappointed in that, because there's definitely opportunity to. But I always think about Blaze being like 10 to 12 days for us, but the actual event, not a festival.
Some say it is.
It is legally registered as a festival, so call it what you want. Anyway, the event runs for actually a relatively short period of time, so the chance to get out and speak to people and capture something and edit is actually very limited, and I forget that.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things we do next time is get a few camps and get some pre-recording done with them. I know we did. There's a lot of time I spent on Temple Doco, so but that will minimise. So literally, you'd probably do a quick couple of shots on the site, maybe a follow-up interview on how the build's gone, and then done. You've got most of your stuff already done. You just chop those bits in.
It's difficult though, because I've been thinking a lot about what I actually try and achieve by filming and editing and all that sort of stuff and end product, and it's like I'm trying to balance like quantity and quality, because we're trying to release a decent product, because that's what people I think respect. I think this year, whilst the number may be down, I think the quality is higher. I think the Temple Doco. So at the moment, I have a 10-minute cut, which is I'm relatively happy with, in all honesty, for the time that I had on site, which was about 3.5 to 4 hours, I would guess. To have a 10-minute piece, I think, before they'd even burnt the damn thing. And it's been personally like such a good journey to follow. Like I've become quite attached to Nish and Nolene, who've kindly gifted their time, but also the space and the actual structure itself. It really did mean more than just a few planks of wood.
Best temple by far.
Oh, for sure.
Three I've done.
Yeah, sucks to be the next person who's designing the next.
Your wife said that to Nish actually yesterday. I said, "Yeah, mate, you've now set the bar high. Like, someone's got to try and beat that."
So I think, like, whilst I'm only going to have and I've had a couple of people like pull out on filming as well, which is a bit disappointing. So I think there's probably a lesson around that, but I think I should be happy in like continue on with the temple, make it a bit longer and put a bit more depth into it, and I think it will become a really good piece. It's just unfortunate that part of what we talk around is if we just wanted to shoot stuff and show it later, we didn't have to build a cinema, and that's the disappointment that I have. But yeah, personally, my time here has been like very much a reflection as to like why I do what I do, and weirdly, like I've actually noticed that my filming has slowed down, like because I think Blaze is a slower pace. I think that I've taken more time in, like, instead of just running around and being like shot, I'm like, okay, here's a shot and I'll run it for longer, which I don't know how that's going to work in like the business life. Maybe I'll go back to shooting the old way where it was just like get everything that we did and then do it. But right, we're on the rundown. What else to talk about?
Well, I suppose screenings, like
events.
We had. I think Saturday was the busiest day.
I think Monday was the busiest day.
Really?
Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah, so we did Game of Thrones on the first Monday because the guys at Dream Gallery had access to it. And then when the festival event thing kicked off, we had a lot of people regularly coming up, oh, can you guys screen Game of Thrones? And they were very disappointed when we told them we'd already done the first episode. So yesterday, Monday, we did episodes 1 and 2 back to back, and we screened them simultaneously on the Cinebrah and on Cinevision.
It was almost simultaneously. There was a bit of an echo.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a sound, like trying to press play on at the same time on both of them. But the Cinebrah was packed, and we had probably about 10 people outside on beanbags and beanbags and stuff. So
if you ever run a cinema, then just don't worry about shooting your own stuff. Just bring commercial stuff and just get the latest fad.
And we had Church of Belligerents playing some weird old kung fu film.
But our second most populated event, Drunk Scientist.
Drunk Scientist, by Shit Gift. Was quite busy, very drunk. One of the scientists vomited on themselves. They all got smashed.
They were naked.
I found a scientist passed out up the road.
Oh, really?
Aiden, Carlos.
Oh.
Yeah, fully passed out. They definitely got drunk. It was well done.
They technically did it incorrectly. So what they were supposed to do is turn up sober and get progressively drunker, which is what Carlos did. But they all turned up very drunk and just got more drunker. And I think most of the audience was in on it too. So, that as an event went pretty well. What else?
Well, Risky was feeding them all rum and himself. He cleaned off a bottle of.
I saw an empty bottle. Oh my god!
Yeah, that was done during the event.
Jeez. And then otherwise, I guess we had Baba
Yaga's Dream Yurt.
That's the one. It's a tongue twister.
Cara Phillips.
Which ran a couple of sessions, and I think
2 sessions, and she had a decent amount of people coming in and enjoying her experience. And I think on Saturday I was just constantly sending people into her. Just spruiking everyone in, which she enjoyed. So she was super happy with how it went. Started off late on the first day because they got in late the night before, and they got a couple of kids, and they were up all night, so they were a bit. Found a letter in a letterbox in the morning. Yeah. Sorry, we're going to be late, and then they rocked up about an hour later, so we moved it to the afternoon, and that worked fine. We're quite flexible on times, to be honest.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, and then the next day, Saturday, was the busiest day, and lots of people come through.
And then outside we had Kim's painted.
Yeah, one of our campmates doing the little clay magnet tokens, and then painting. So
which worked really popular. I think she was really surprised at how that went, and it's really nice when somebody does something like she'd never been to Blaze before.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's an announcement rolling past. There's someone with a megaphone. It's nice when somebody has their first experience, does something small that they don't really know how it's going to go, and people react really positively to it.
Yeah.
Quiet, please. She and I think that was a really positive experience for her.
Yeah.
As to like actually just putting herself out there, and people reacting like, hell yeah, I want to do some painting.
Yeah, it was good.
I think Temple Doco so far has been received pretty well. And now I'm losing my train of thought.
Okay.
You want to talk about anything else? We'll do final thoughts.
I mean, lessons learnt list.
Yeah.
We need to go through.
Yep.
Write stuff down.
Yep.
Any improvements?
A few.
Yeah, quite a few.
But not as much as last year.
No.
Which is good.
Yeah, I think it went okay. So, I can't think at the moment.
No. It's probably not the
I had
best
a
thing.
decent night's sleep last night, but I'm still a bit flaky.
It's probably not the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Like a piece right at the end is probably not quite as.
No, and we're supposed to be. We've got people outside waiting to watch stuff. So
yes. So, I guess we'll. I think it's still recording. I guess we'll sign this one off.
Okay.
As ever, thank you for watching, listening, or whatever you're doing. Andy has not pointed seductively at me for this episode, so
I'm not feeling seductive.
Not feeling seductive.
You're just not looking sexy. So.
Oh wow! I need a shower.
Week of Blade. Yeah, you haven't showered, so.
I don't know if I've even brushed my teeth. As ever.
Really?
Yes. No, I have. I have. Just not right now. Yeah, I did last night. So as ever, thanks for watching. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and then now, finally, a million different podcasting.
We're out there.
Because we're finally more than just one platform. But time to sign this one off.
Okay.
Cinebrah!